Part 1, The Betrayal and Revenge, Season 1. The story of House of Cards begins with Frank Underwood, a cunning and ruthless House Majority Whip from South Carolina. Frank is a master manipulator who knows the ins and outs of Washington politics. He has spent years helping others rise to power, expecting that one day he would be rewarded with a higher position. The Betrayal. Frank plays a crucial role in helping Garrett Walker win the presidential election. In return, Frank is promised the position of Secretary of State, one of the most powerful roles in the US government. However, after winning the election, President Walker goes back on his word and gives the position to someone else. This betrayal leaves Frank furious and humiliated. He realizes that in the world of politics, loyalty means nothing, and if he wants power, he must take it himself. The plan for revenge. Frank doesn't openly show his anger. Instead, he begins plotting a long and calculated plan to manipulate, control, and destroy everyone who stands in his way. He works closely with his equally ambitious wife, Claire Underwood, who runs a non-profit organization and has her own hunger for power. Frank's strategy is simple: control the narrative, use people as pawns, and slowly rise to power from the shadows. Step 1. Manipulating Peter Russo. Frank targets Peter Russo, a troubled congressman with a history of alcohol and drug abuse. Frank uses Peter's weaknesses to control him and make him do whatever he wants. Frank helps Peter get sober and gain political influence, but behind the scenes, he keeps feeding Peter's addictions to blackmail him when needed. Frank eventually forces Peter to run for governor of Pennsylvania, knowing that he can control him once he wins. However, when Peter becomes a threat to Frank's plan, Frank stages his death by making it look like Peter committed suicide. Step 2. Using the media. Frank forms a secret alliance with Zoe Barnes, a young and ambitious journalist. Frank feeds her exclusive information and political secrets to destroy his rivals and influence public opinion. In return, Zoe becomes famous and rises in her career. However, Zoe doesn't realize that Frank is using her as a puppet to eliminate his enemies and protect his own image. Step 3. Destroying political opponents. Frank manipulates the White House Chief of Staff, Linda Vasquez, and secretly turns people against President Walker's trusted advisor, Michael Kern, forcing him to resign. This allows Frank to place his own ally, Catherine Durant, as Secretary of State, the position he was denied. The ending of Season 1. By the end of the first season, Frank has successfully destroyed his enemies and gained more political power without anyone realizing that he is the mastermind behind it all. However, this is just the beginning of his plan to reach the top. The key themes in Part 1. Power and manipulation. Frank uses people as pawns, exploiting their weaknesses to gain control. The role of the media. Frank's alliance with Zoe shows how easily the media can be used to control public opinion. Betrayal and revenge. Frank proves that betrayal in politics comes with consequences, but he prefers to strike from the shadows. Conclusion of Part 1. Frank Underwood's journey starts with betrayal, but instead of giving up, he chooses to manipulate the system from within. His actions set the stage for a dangerous and unstoppable rise to power, where he will stop at nothing to become President of the United States. Part 2. The Road to Power, Seasons 2-3. After eliminating Congressman Peter Russo and gaining control over the media through Zoe Barnes, Frank Underwood continues his ruthless journey toward ultimate power. In this phase, Frank moves from being House Majority Whip to Vice President, and eventually, President of the United States. Step 1. Killing Zoe Barnes, Season 2, Episode 1. Zoe Barnes, the young journalist who helped Frank manipulate the media, begins to suspect that Frank was behind Peter Russo's death. She starts digging deeper, which makes her a threat to Frank's plan. In a shocking moment, Frank lures Zoe to a subway station under the pretense of giving her information. When Zoe asks too many questions, Frank coldly pushes her in front of an oncoming train, killing her instantly. This murder symbolizes Frank's transition from manipulation to complete domination. He is now willing to kill anyone who stands in his way. Step 2. Becoming Vice President. With Zoe gone, Frank shifts his focus to Vice President Raymond Tusk, who is President Walker's most trusted advisor and billionaire friend. Frank uses political manipulation and dirty tactics to create a rift between Tusk and President Walker. He exposes Tusk's illegal connections with the Chinese government and forces him to resign. With Tusk out of the picture, President Walker is left vulnerable, and Frank positions himself as the most trusted ally to the president. Frank cleverly maneuvers his way into becoming the Vice President of the United States. Step 3. Destroying President Walker. Frank's ultimate goal is not just to become Vice President but to force the president to resign. Frank begins leaking information about Walker's involvement in illegal political donations and uses the media to turn public opinion against him. Frank also manipulates the First Lady, causing tension in the president's personal life. As Walker faces intense investigations and pressure from Congress, he is left with no choice but to resign from office. Step 4. Frank becomes president, Season 2 finale. With President Walker out, Frank Underwood, who was next in line as vice president, takes the oath and becomes the 46th president of the United States. In one of the most iconic scenes of the series, Frank walks into the Oval Office, knocks twice on the desk, and stares directly into the camera, signaling that his plan has been successful. Season 3. The struggle to hold power. Although Frank has finally reached the top, holding power is far more difficult than gaining it. Challenges Frank faces. Claire Underwood's ambition. Claire, who has supported Frank throughout his journey, begins to feel neglected. She wants power and influence of her own and demands to be appointed as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. However, her lack of experience makes her a political liability. Public disapproval. Frank struggles to gain public support as the country views him as an unelected and illegitimate president. Presidential campaign. Frank faces strong competition in the upcoming election, especially from a young and charismatic candidate, Heather Dunbar, who challenges Frank's ethics and corruption. Claire's rebellion. By the end of Season 3, Claire becomes frustrated with Frank's lack of emotional support and respect for her ambitions. In the final scene, Claire tells Frank, "I want out." The ending of Part 2. Frank Underwood has successfully climbed to the top of American politics, but his marriage with Claire begins to crumble. While Frank controls the political world, he is slowly losing control over the person who helped him rise to power, his own wife. Key themes of Part 2. The cost of power. Frank achieves his dream but loses important relationships along the way. Manipulation and deception. Frank uses everyone, from journalists to billionaires, to reach the top. Claire's rise. Claire starts to demand her own position in the political world, leading to tension between her and Frank. Conclusion of Part 2. Frank Underwood becomes president, but his greatest challenge is yet to come, keeping the power and dealing with the woman who knows all his secrets, Claire Underwood. Part 3. Claire's rise and conflict, Seasons 4 to 5. In this phase of House of Cards, Frank Underwood struggles to maintain his position as president while facing political threats, scandals, and betrayal from the one person he trusted the most, Claire Underwood. While Frank fought his way to the top, he always saw Claire as his equal partner. But now, Claire no longer wants to stand behind him, she wants to stand beside him, or even above him. This leads to a dangerous power struggle between the two. Step 1. Claire leaves Frank, Season 4, Episode 1. After feeling used and unappreciated by Frank, Claire leaves him at the beginning of Season 4. She travels to Texas to begin her own political career by running for Congress. However, her campaign fails. Claire realizes that she can't gain power on her own, so she returns to Frank, not as his wife, but as his political partner. But this time, she demands equal power and influence in the White House. Step 2. The assassination attempt. During Frank's re-election campaign, he faces strong competition from Heather Dunbar, who exposes Frank's corruption. In a shocking moment, a former journalist, Lucas Goodwin, who blames Frank for the deaths of Zoe Barnes and Peter Russo, attempts to assassinate Frank. Frank is shot and left in critical condition. While Frank is in a coma, Claire takes control of the White House, making key decisions and proving her political strength. Step 3. Claire becomes Frank's running mate. After recovering, Frank realizes that he can't win the election without Claire. In a bold and unprecedented move, Frank announces that Claire Underwood will be his vice presidential running mate. This makes them the first husband and wife team to run for president and vice president in American history. Claire's popularity and intelligence help Frank defeat Heather Dunbar and win re-election. However, Claire's true intentions begin to unfold. She doesn't want to be vice president forever. Step 4. The Conway Threat, Season 5. Frank and Claire face their biggest political threat yet, Will Conway, a young and charismatic Republican candidate who has the support of the American people. Frank uses voter manipulation, fake terrorist threats, and media control to create fear among the public and delay the election results. This allows him to stay in power longer. During this time, Claire secretly begins working with Frank's loyal advisor, Doug Stamper, and secretly poisons Frank's political enemies. Step 5. Claire betrays Frank, Season 5 finale. When Frank finally wins the election, he realizes that Claire has outplayed him. Instead of pardoning Frank for all his crimes, Claire refuses to sign the pardon, leaving Frank vulnerable to impeachment and arrest. In the final scene of Season 5, Frank calls Claire and says, "If you don't pardon me, I'll destroy you." Claire coldly responds, "I'm not afraid of you anymore, Frances." As Frank steps down from the presidency to avoid legal consequences, Claire Underwood becomes the first female president of the United States. The ending of Part 3. Claire successfully rises to power by manipulating Frank the same way he manipulated others. She breaks free from his control and becomes more ruthless than him. Key themes of Part 3. Claire's transformation, from being Frank's loyal partner to becoming a powerful and cold-hearted leader. Betrayal and power struggle. Claire betrays Frank, proving that she was always smarter and more dangerous than him. The role of fear. Frank and Claire use fear and manipulation to control the public and win elections. Conclusion of Part 3. Claire Underwood finally steps out of Frank's shadow and takes the power she always deserved. But with Frank out of the picture, Claire must now face the enemies that Frank left behind, alone. Part 4. Frank's Downfall and Death, Season 5 Finale to Season 6. In this phase of House of Cards, Frank Underwood, the mastermind who manipulated the political system to become president, faces his ultimate downfall and death. However, his death doesn't come from political rivals or the justice system, it comes from the one person who knows all his secrets, Claire Underwood. Step 1. Frank resigns from the presidency, Season 5 Finale. After Claire refuses to pardon Frank, he is forced to resign from the presidency to avoid legal consequences for his crimes. Frank believes that even after stepping down, he can control Claire from behind the scenes and rule the country through her. But Claire has different plans. Step 2. Claire cuts Frank off. Once Claire becomes the first female president of the United States, she completely isolates Frank and refuses to take his advice. Frank becomes furious and begins plotting against Claire, threatening to expose all their crimes, including murders and political manipulation. Claire, knowing that Frank is the only person who can destroy her presidency, decides to get rid of him before he gets rid of her. Step 3. Frank Underwood's death, off-screen death in Season 6, Episode 1. At the start of Season 6, it is revealed that Frank Underwood has mysteriously died in his sleep. However, the truth is later revealed. Claire Underwood secretly killed Frank, likely by poisoning him. Step 4. The cover-up. Claire covers up Frank's murder, making it look like he died of natural causes. She refuses to hold a public funeral for him and buries him next to his father, whom Frank hated, as a final act of disrespect. With Frank dead, all of his political secrets die with him. Claire is now free to fully control the White House without any threat from Frank. Step 5. The threat from Frank's allies. Although Frank is gone, his loyal allies, like Doug Stamper, know the truth about his death. Doug, who was Frank's most loyal fixer, discovers that Claire killed Frank and seeks revenge. In the final episode, Doug confronts Claire in the Oval Office. Claire manipulates Doug by making him believe that he was the only person Frank ever trusted. In a shocking moment, Claire stabs Doug to death, eliminating the last person who was loyal to Frank. The ending of Part 4. Frank Underwood's death marks the end of one era and the beginning of another. While Frank built his legacy through manipulation and murder, Claire takes that legacy and makes it her own. With Frank and Doug dead, Claire is now the most powerful and feared leader in the world. Key themes of Part 4. Betrayal and power struggle. Claire kills Frank to fully control the presidency. The death of a king. Frank Underwood, once the most powerful man in the world, dies in silence and betrayal. Claire's ultimate victory. By killing Frank and Doug, Claire ensures that no one can challenge her power. Conclusion of Part 4. Frank Underwood's death was not the end of corruption, it was only the beginning of Claire Underwood's reign, which is darker and more ruthless than Frank's ever was. Part 5. Claire's Reign and Legacy, Season 6. With Frank Underwood dead, Claire Underwood becomes the first female president of the United States. However, her path to power is not complete. Now, she must face the ghosts of Frank's past and the powerful enemies he left behind. In this final phase, Claire transforms into a colder, more ruthless leader than Frank ever was, as she seeks to erase his legacy and establish her own. Step 1. The battle against Frank's allies. After Frank's death, the Shepherd family, a powerful and corrupt political dynasty, begins to threaten Claire's presidency. Bill Shepherd and Annette Shepherd, wealthy political influencers, were close allies of Frank and now want to control Claire. They try to manipulate her decisions and pressure her to protect their business interests. However, Claire refuses to be their puppet and declares war against the Shepherds, just as Frank would have done. Step 2. Claire's dark transformation. As Claire faces political attacks and threats from Frank's former allies, she becomes even more ruthless and unpredictable. She fakes a pregnancy, claiming to be carrying Frank's child to gain public sympathy and protect her position. She fires Frank's loyal advisors and erases Frank's legacy from the White House, refusing to be seen as his puppet. She uses fear and manipulation to control the media and the public, just like Frank once did. Step 3. Doug Stamper's Revenge. Doug Stamper, Frank's most loyal and dangerous fixer, discovers that Claire killed Frank. Feeling betrayed and lost without Frank, Doug secretly works with the Shepherds to bring Claire down. However, in the final episode, Doug confronts Claire in the Oval Office. In an emotional and intense scene, Doug reveals that he was the one who killed Frank, not Claire. Doug poisoned Frank because he believed that Frank was becoming too dangerous and would destroy everything they built. In a shocking moment, Claire stabs Doug in the stomach, killing him. Step 4. Claire becomes the ultimate villain. With Doug dead and the Shepherds defeated, Claire now holds absolute power. She destroys all evidence of Frank's crimes and silences everyone who knew the truth. She declares herself the true ruler of America, without Frank's shadow hanging over her. In the final scene, Claire breaks the fourth wall and looks directly at the audience, just like Frank used to do, and says, "My turn." The ending of Part 5. Claire Underwood successfully erases Frank's legacy and becomes the most powerful and feared leader in the world. Unlike Frank, who ruled through manipulation and fear, Claire rules through pure dominance and control. Key themes of Part 5. The ultimate betrayal, Doug killing Frank out of loyalty and Claire killing Doug to protect her power. Claire's transformation, from being Frank's partner to becoming a more ruthless and unstoppable leader. Breaking the cycle, Claire not only takes power from Frank but ensures that no one will ever control her again. Final conclusion of House of Cards. Frank Underwood built the House of Cards, but Claire Underwood burned it to the ground and built her own empire on its ashes. In the end, House of Cards was never Frank's story, it was always about Claire.